back. Today we are doing the abundance factor. This is a free webinar, and I'm going to give you today 3 powerful ways you can change your life completely, change your frequency, and shift into the abundance that is your birthright. Because when we do that, so much becomes possible for us. Oh, my screen went a bit dark. Let me try and fix that. All good. That's better. We need some bright vibration today for this webinar, and we need to shift into. So today I'll be giving you 3 ways you can get started straight away, because I'm a big believer in action gets results, and also aligning to the frequency of what is possible gets results, because otherwise it will be just another webinar you watch that nothing happens, and that is not my intention for this. I have been sitting with the intention of this webinar for a week and really activating the soul codes and the vibration of this so I can bring it to you today. I will be offering you a call at the end, and I will be chatting about a special offer I have. And that is no obligation to do any of that, but I'm just letting you know that that will be happening at the end of this call, just so you're aware of what's going on. So who am I to teach you this? My name's Callista. I'm the soul coach for those who don't know me. And I'm truly passionate about shifting energy, about transformation, and about change. And if we rewind 20 years ago, I was struggling. I was struggling to make ends meet. I was a single mum. My relationship had broken down, and I did not know who I was. And I went on the journey of discovery. But through that journey, I learned the power of manifestation, and I learned the power of following my soul to tap into unlimited abundance. But during that time, there were times where, yeah, I doubted it. There were times where, yeah, I thought it would be all too hard to get to where I am. But you know what? Today I'm going to give you the 3 tools that have really helped me, that have really shifted everything. And when we can align action and strategy, everything starts shifting. Is it just me, or is spirit making it warm in here? That's what happens. So I am a soul channel, which means I do connect to my guides. I do have the ability to hear clearly, and I do trust my innate wisdom. And some exciting news, those who are on my Facebook would have seen it. I'm actually have manifested and moved into my abundance that I can actually go to Hawaii this year, which has been a lifelong dream. And that is like 15 years ago, a client actually, or 10 years ago, a client gave me a book. And back then I was living in a rental, had secondhand furniture, I had nothing. But it's not about how much money you have in your bank. It's not about how much stuff you have, but abundance to me is moving into the truth of who you are. It's waking up every day with that happiness, with that joy, with that connection to the universe and to yourself. And that to me is true abundance. And then everything else that flows from there is an add-on, is a plus, is a positive. So for me, going on those trips, having my amazing soul-led business, having my soulmate, having all the things I've been bringing into my life is an extension of myself. It is not, I need all these things to have a beautiful life. I believe it's not about any of that. Those things create an amazing, amazing existence, yes. But the first thing is getting back to your own soul. It's getting back to the truth of who you are, and it's stripping away and getting uncomfortable to truly feel. Because there was a time I didn't want to feel. There was a time I emotionally ate. There was a time I blocked everything. And all it did was make me feel icky. Because some people say, I'm scared of the healing journey, or I don't know what that looks like, or feeling is uncomfortable, or sitting with my thoughts, or slowing life down. But that is the way you tap into true abundance. That is the way you step into the frequency of what is possible for you. And today I'm going to show you more of this. So I now live my soul-led life. Every day I wake up and I'm grateful. And every day I know that I've tuned into the frequency of what is possible for me. And there is so much more, which excites me. So today is really about activating your manifestation and abundance. And I'd like you to really take a moment and ask yourself, what does that mean for you? What right now are you working on manifesting? What area of your life are you really wanting to grow? And if you're a journal writer like me, write it down and just activate it and go, you know what? I want to bring in this. And it could be 2 or 3 areas, but get really clear on what are you wanting to manifest? What are you wanting to bring in? And what does abundance look like for you? What would it mean to have that abundance? What would it mean to be in that frequency? And energetically, what would that look like for you? Because when you can connect to that energy and when you get a clear picture, so much more comes in, so much more happens. And that is where the beauty starts. So first, get clear. What does that look like for you? And what are you manifesting? Because I remember when I wanted to, just for example, meet my soulmate, and I'd get frustrated and I'd be like, oh, it's taking so long. Why? And then I moved into the manifesting. I moved into calling it in. I moved into the frequency of knowing it was done. And that's when everything started shifting for me. If you want to share away. And I love that, Jude. 20K consistent months. Yes, in your business. So you're definitely in the business flow. Love it. Love it. Love it. So what if you want to share, go for it. I'd love to hear what you're wanting. Oh my God. And you typed that 1111 just saying. Now that is cool. That's like, yeah, you've put it to the universe. That's a given. That's happening. So are you ready to activate the frequency, to shift into the power of everyday alignment? Because the frequency is the energetics. It's the energetics of that cellular structure of how you show up every day. And then you start aligning to your dreams. Because sometimes that mindset can come in and go, it's never going to happen. It's all too hard. It might be easier for others, not me. Some people seem to have it easier. Or that happens for other people. Why would that be my story? And when you're focusing on that, do you see how your energy starts shrinking? So if you think about your energy field and your abundance frequency is out to the universe, you've just started shrinking it. So every time you have that thought, every time you say that, it's like your energy starts contracting. But what if you put to the universe, I know it's possible. I believe in myself. I deserve this. I'm stepping into it and I demand it of the universe. And what's going to happen? I'm showing up every day as that version of me. Suddenly your frequency starts shifting and you're aligning to the universal energy of what is possible. And then moving into abundance, whether that's money, whether that's love, whether that's home, whether that's joy, what inner peace, creating flow. And of course, money makes such a difference. And if that, if it's business that you're focusing on and abundance in business, it makes a big difference to your life versus lack. I've been in lack and it ain't fun, and I'm not going back there. and it's not even a given, because that was my story, but it's not my reality. And I've created a very different one in my journey. So, and that's what I want for you. And 3 powerful ways we connect to our abundance, to our manifestation, is knowing you have a blueprint. So before you came to earth, and this is the way I've downloaded it crystal clear, and when I work with clients, I see this for them and I see the highest timeline. You have a blueprint. So before you came to earth, your soul has codes. Your soul has codes of what is possible, and it's all there. And it is not for one person that it's not possible, because if you're watching this, you're drawn to the energy, then you know it is. So in your soul codes also has some things you're going to go through, some difficulties, some activations. So your soul codes come in as, when they're activated, then everything starts shifting for you. Everything becomes possible. And you start stepping into the frequency of what is possible for you. And then once that's activated, so if you look at it like if you're here and you want this, and that is your highest timeline of what is possible, because I believe if you can see it, if you can connect to it, Spirit will only show you what is possible for you on the highest frequency if it's something you can call in and bring in. They will never show you what is not possible. So when you get a vision and knowing, or you start saying to the universe, I want this, or I want to bring this in, and then you get a feeling or a knowing or a visual, then your guides, the universe has just shown you your higher self of your soul codes, of the frequency of what is possible. And then it's up to you to get into that frequency and start activating it to call it in. And so when I work with clients, I see that in your energy. I'll go, this is what is possible for you. And I confirm what they feel. And then we do aligned action to get there. But during that journey, so your blueprint, as I said, is your highest timeline of what is possible. And that is the frequency of abundance that you're bringing in. That is the manifestation that you bring in of going, that is what I'm calling towards me. And that is what I know is possible. And there is nothing else that enters that. So you have, yes, we've had karma. Yes, we've had things we've had to overcome. And yes, I know about lessons. Hands up if you go, yeah, I've been there. We've all had our lessons, our karma, things we've had to overcome. And a lot of it usually is to do with self-love. And what we're here to learn on the planet is really, that self-love and connection. But also we've had vows in other lifetimes or in our genetics or in our ancestors that don't serve us now, because we're moving into very, very different times as souls on the planet of changing that frequency. So when we dive in and we really heal those layers and we realize that we no longer have to carry those old codes, we can then step into our soul codes. And that's when we start that real releasing, that real activation. So what do you choose as a deliberate creator today? What are you choosing moving forward? How are you going to set your life up for success and abundance? So I'm going to give you right now, super exciting, who's excited? For 3 powerful ways to manifest and activate your abundance. Because like I said, I love empowering people to activate their true potential, to step into what is possible, to get into the frequency of everything. So number 1 is activate your vibration. I want you to really be super, super aware of your daily routine. When you wake up in the morning, what's your thoughts? Do you set yourself up for success? Do you end the day for success? If you have a journal, I know some of you aren't into journaling, but write every day what you're bringing in. Connect to the energy of it and really activate that on a deep level. So your daily routine matters. Is it moving you towards abundance and manifesting what you want? Or are you sitting in the, oh, I'm awake another day, it's Monday, and then it gets all too heavy and too disconnected? And then suddenly you go through the whole day and all these things happen that you go, see, it's all too hard, see, and you get confirmation of what you think your path is. So your daily routine, when you wake up, when you practice gratitude, when you really be responsible for the vibration you're moving into, because the higher we ascend into the frequency of a high vibration, the quicker we manifest, the quicker we bring in what is possible. But remember, it's a journey. We're not on a race. So we could have instant manifestation where you just go, yep, there it is. And who's done that? Yeah, I've done that. Or some things take a while longer because the journey is beautiful. And who's got what they wanted like a year or 2 later or 5 years and look back and go, I can see why it was the way it was. Yeah. And it all lines up and you go, no wonder I had to wait. Yeah. Yes, Angela. And then you realize it was a journey, it was learning, it was overcoming some stuff, and you wouldn't change it, would you? because it got you to the beautiful person you are. And releasing what no longer serves is crucial as well. If we are carrying childhood trauma, if you are carrying repetitive cycles that you just can't break and you feel like you keep going through the same loop, then deep healing is needed. If you are hiding from yourself, from your thoughts, from connection, from really deeply feeling, then healing is needed. And when we deeply heal, we free ourselves. We don't forget our story. We don't forget what we've been through, but we free the hold it has on us to have true freedom and true abundance and joy and peace. And that is a deep journey. That is for the brave. It takes a brave soul to heal. And you'll see me write that many times, because when I do work with clients and when we do connect, the first part of what we do is deep healing. We really get into that depth of acknowledging what's happened, forgiving and releasing, so that then you can activate the frequency of what is possible. If I hadn't healed, if I hadn't faced myself, if I hadn't done all of the things that had happened, I would still be sitting in the same energy and vibration as 10 years ago of when my marriage broke down. But I went on a deliberate, and I chose that deliberate journey of awakening. I mean, sometimes we don't choose it, but I went through a deliberate choosing of my awakening journey, of my spiritual journey, of working out who I am and what I'm here on the planet to do. And I really embraced it. And yes, there were times it was scary. Yes, there were times I had tears pouring down my face. And there were some really hard decisions I had to make, and some people I had to leave behind. And one of those was leaving, some really connected relationships, whether it's co-workers, bosses, friendships, love relationships, family. We have some really huge things sometimes we walk away from. But those are the things that change everything, because you choose you. So who are you surrounding yourself with? Are they lifting you up? Are they a positive impact in your life? And what decisions can you make that are going to really choose the path of deep healing and deep connection to your soul? And lifting your frequency is that real self-responsibility of daily activations, eating healthy food, going into nature, listening to uplifting music, meditating, journal writing, reading books that shift your energy, watching things that help empower you. Those are what you want to surround yourself with vibrationally. That is where the activation happens. That is where your frequency starts shifting. So there's always a choice every day of energetically where you want to sit. Choose the path of high vibration and be really self-responsible for what that looks like. So just for example, if you were, say, working on health and wellness goals, you could get up in the morning and go for a walk. You could really choose natural food that you know lifts your vibration. Or you can go, I'll start next week. I'm just going to have crap food for lunch. Do you see the difference in choices? One's going to move you towards having abundance, manifesting, feeling good. And if you're wanting to get in the frequency, say, of health and well-being, one's going to take you down the path of clogging your third eye, of clogging your intuition, of making you feel crappy. So remember, every day is a choice of the frequency you shift into. And then your intuition, your inner guidance, your wisdom will show you the next steps. You'll know what is feeling aligned or not. And if you're wanting to really change your life or overhaul it, just start with simply journal writing. Start with simply shifting into the vibration of what is possible. And even do some I am statements. So wake up with a clear affirmation of what that feels like. But if it doesn't sit in your soul, it won't feel good, then you won't want to do it. So really make sure an affirmation you do feels doable and really sits in your heart, in your soul of what is possible. It will feel so good for you. Believe it to be. Can you get a vision of that being possible? Because who watched The Secret back in the day? And we had to put the check, on the mirror. For some people, it worked. For me, it didn't feel possible. I was a broke single mum with 3 little kids. I was struggling. How could I, putting a check on the mirror didn't? So if you can see it, you can bring it in. But if you have a vision or an idea of what you want your life to look like and it feels impossible, just recreate it a bit, rewrite it, get a bit clearer on what is possible. So when you can see it, when you can really see it, and if you close your eyes right now, can you see what you're wanting to manifest? Can you see that abundance you're wanting to bring in? Make it real. Really connect to the energy of it. Breathe it in. Visualize yourself there in that future. Visualize yourself living in that abundance, in what you're calling in, and embody it. Double that energy in your body, triple that energy. Feel it expand out of you until it becomes bigger than the room you're in. And then affirm it. I am, and whatever you're bringing in. Do you see the difference in that frequency straight away? I just got tingles. So that is a really, really strong way you can embody that energy. So if you do that daily, what do you think is going to happen to your frequency and your energy? Who felt an instant shift from that? Just give me a yes if you did it. And if you're watching the replay, let me know. Who felt that instant shift of, wow, I can actually feel that? And that is the difference between, awesome, glad to hear. So when you really connect to that frequency, when you visualize it, when you embody it, when you double that energy in your body and you affirm it, you are then shifted into the frequency of calling that in, of activating that abundance, of knowing that you're on that path to bring in what is possible. And then everything will start shifting for you. And that is so, so powerful. Then the next step, so we've done that, we've lifted our vibration, you're believing it to be and seeing it in your energy of what is possible. And then the next step is calling in that next level of you. So you've activated your frequency, you're getting up in the morning, you're doing all the things to call it in. You are then believing it to be because you can visualize it, and then you're calling in that version. So if that version of you already exists outside time and space of what is possible, you're calling that into now. How would that person be right now if you weren't waiting? So I'll use you, Jude, for example, because you wrote 20K consistent months. What would that next level version of you at 20K be doing today if it was here today? What actions would she be taking? How would she show up online? What would she be offering? What would she be moving like? How would she be standing if it was right now? And that if you go out in the world with that energy, with that vibration, with that frequency, do you see how you're aligned to call it in? It can't not happen. It's massive, isn't it? So if you do that in any area of your life of what is happening, so for example, when I wanted a house that I wanted to manifest, I could visualize it. I stepped into the frequency of what it would feel like to open that front door. I imagined putting the key in. And then I went, what is the next level of me doing to be in that home? And it's just going to happen. I packed a box. I started getting rid of my clutter. I said every day it's going to happen. I trusted when I looked at realestate.com, it was going to be there. And you know what? It all fell into place. And the same thing when I met my partner, it was, I'm going to meet someone. His side of the bed is clear. I would lie in bed and imagine holding hands. I would picture what it's going to feel like to walk down the beach with someone and how he's going to embody and match and mirror me. And I had that real energy. And then it was like, well, what would she be doing? She'd be living her best life today. I wouldn't wait to meet him. So I booked that trip to Perth. I went out for dinner on my own. I started living my best life because I was not going to wait for someone to have that life. So when you embody whatever it is you're calling in, that next level of you, start doing it now. If you want to make more, say, you want more soul connections in your life, show up as the energy, start connecting to people, reach out. Whatever you're calling in, start embodying it today, and you will start getting the signs and synchronicities from the universe, you know, the numbers, the synchronicities of what you need to do. You'll get the downloads. And that is how you'll be at the right time, at the right place to activate your abundance, to activate what is possible. And the universe will start shifting in your favor. And then you'll get the clear next steps on what you're being guided to do. And it all falls into place. You become like a magnet pulling in that version of you. And so I'll give you an example. Years ago, when I was in a really unhappy marriage and relationship, and I won't dive into the details of that, I used to visualize walking at the beach free every day. And so every day I would, not every single day, but most days, I would just visualize myself happy and healthy walking at the beach. Little did I know, fast forward, separated, lived at the beach, walking every day, happy and healthy. What you can perceive will be. But what did I do back then to bring in that next level version of me? I walked at the beach every day. I might not have been happy and healthy and free, but I still walked at the beach every day. Does that make sense? I anchored in the energy. I started embodying it now. So start calling in that next level of you. How does she stand? How does she breathe? What does she eat? How does she meditate? What does she choose to fill her day with, her week, her month? What does she put out into the world? How does she connect to others? What does she communicate? If you're going for that interview and you're wanting a certain job, how do you show up? How do you embody the energy on the day? And then you're calling in that next level. It has no choice but to materialize because it's already existing. And if you think you're around your soul codes, your activation, what is possible for you on your highest timeline, it already exists. So all it needs to do is then materialize because it's already there. Who is now feeling so much clearer on what they're doing next? Just give me a yes if this resonates. If you go, you know what, that's just shifted everything for me in like 10 minutes. I'm ready. Give me a yes if you're feeling this. And if you go, oh, I've got some changes to make in my day, in my, how I set my day up, in my actions. I'd love to hear. Because we have we have so many choices of the vibration. Yeah, you're changing a few things. Yeah, it gives you that instant clarity of, oh, actually, I can, yeah, Angela, it's massive when you take that real self-responsibility and go, oh, if I do more of that, just for example, I was going, oh, it's all too hard, it's too cold, I can't go for a walk in the morning. But I know going for a walk in the morning is what makes my soul happy. I get up at 6:30 and go. There's no thought anymore because I retrained myself. That is the best version of me, of what future self does today. It's always around walks for me, isn't it? So much magic happens on those walks, but it's massive. So connect to that energy. I'm not going to wait for that future version of me. I'm embodying her today, and she's going to come in because I'm calling it in. So start these 3 things today, right now, this week. Take action, create your life and design it more for what is possible. Because I used to go, oh, it's all too hard. You know, there's 4 of us living here. There's no space to meditate. We can make a million excuses, or we can own our energy now. So it's like, well, it's quiet at night. I can sit and write and journal and do anything. Everyone's in their own world. In the morning, everyone's asleep or at work. I've got me time. There's plenty of time. We create it. We create our life. So believe, decide, become that it's time to move into that next level version of you, to create that abundance, to create that manifestation energy. and align to the frequency of what is possible. So decide right now that this is what you are doing. Decide right now that this is what you are moving towards. And if at any point during this you go, I'm struggling, or this feels a bit overwhelming, who would like to know some ways we could work together that I can help shift you there to that? Awesome, Jude. That I can shift you there to that frequency to align you to what is possible and support you in the process. Because I know the greatest change and transformation, awesome, Jude, comes from connection, having that mentor, that coach to help you really align and activate to what is possible. Because when we work with someone else, we're getting that, not only someone holding that vision for you, but helping, like really transmuting it for you and helping you see what you can't to manifest and change everything. So thank you. This is around ways we can work together that would really start shifting the energy for you. So I'm launching a 12-week ascension program, which does include 12 weeks one-on-one. And what happens with that is we will go through the deep healing and releasing. Then we will go through the activation where we really align to what is possible for you, and then connect you to your goals, your dreams, your abundance, your manifestation. And during that 12 weeks, it's a real deep journey, but it's a journey that transforms everything. These are all the things that have helped me in my life to get to where I am with that happiness, with that abundance, and with that true alignment. And I love teaching this, and I love seeing clients truly transform because it changes your life. And you can say, oh, well, you know, that's a bit that healing part sounds a bit scary. I don't know how I'm going to cope with the emotions. But what's the cost if you don't change? What's the cost if you keep going, staying stuck? If you keep squashing those emotions, if you keep squashing those memories, or if you stay in that same cycle. So if you're interested, reach out. But I also give you an online self-paced learning portal. So you do get some extra things to work through at your own time, and a bonus intuitive and psychic 6-week online program. So you can activate your intuition. So you can activate your abilities to hear your guides, to connect, to understand your clairs, and to really learn to trust your soul's wisdom. It's massive, massive. And this is exclusive just for you with these bonuses because they will really help you transform your life. If you go, you know what, this is for me, I want to know more, or you just want to really connect and you go, you know what, Callista, today's been amazing. I'd like to know more. I'm just going to put the link to book a call. And I'd love to connect and just have a chat around where you're at and where you're moving to. So this call is if you know that, you know, you're feeling stuck and you go, I want to find out more in the ways we can work together, but I also want to know, what can I do to shift my situation? What can I do to activate? And if you're ready to take your life to the next level, if you're ready for that real activation, book in an activate call. It's free. And we can look at strategies to move you forward, to go, you know what, if you're feeling stuck here, let's shift something to get you to here. Because I know what it's like to feel like that and to be on that other side. You're welcome, Jude. And I only have a few spots for November, so it will book out. I've got a few calls booked already. Because I am on my dream trip, just putting it out there, but I'd love to connect if you feel it's soul aligned to chat. And I want to thank you so much for being here today, for being part of my world, to really connect to what is possible for you, to connect to that activation, to connect to that deep knowing. You're so welcome.